for joining us for Jaunts with Mercy. This is Emerald Mound Part 2, Are the Indian Mounds Remnants of the Nephilim? In this video, we will continue to focus on the book of Jude from the Holy Bible and are still following up on the points Mr. Marzulli and Mr. Zimmerman make during Mr. Marzulli's series on the Trail of the Nephilim. Come along with us to Emerald Mound, located in Natchez, Mississippi. Our disclaimer is this: we base our opinion on our own research and experience. Please read and research for yourself to draw your own conclusions. Let's look at their narrative according to the brochure on Emerald Mound, provided and written by the National Park Service, which is under the Department of Interior. And I just wanted to point out here, the brochure was only found at the mound itself in an unmarked box. Quoting from the brochure on Emerald Mound provided by the National Park Service, let's look under the section Building the Mound. Quote, "The builders of these flat-topped mounds are called Mississippians, named for their concentration of their villages and mounds in the Mississippi River Valley. Imagine groups of people walking with empty baskets, looking for the perfect location to collect soil for building the mounds. Once found, they may have used digging sticks or their own two hands to collect soil, load up their baskets, and walk back to their village. Baskets would have been emptied, soil stomped down, and the process repeated over and over again to create a mound that was 30 feet high. How many people, how many hours, days, or even years of labor were put into creating this mound? There are many mysteries that remain regarding mound construction." Close quote. Does their narrative make sense? Using logical thinking, and according to this brochure, and as I said in our previous video, if you've ever moved a bucket of dirt yourself, you understand how improbable that theory is, especially when looking at the size of Emerald Mound. Their narrative states that these people, the Native Americans, have basic skills and basic tools, using sticks and their hands, but at the same time saying there are many mysteries regarding mound construction, alluding to that they are not sure, that this is just a theory of theirs. Under the section Mississippian Culture, I quote, "The Mississippians were skillful farmers producing corn, beans, and squash to feed large populations. Their crops were supplemented with wild game, fish, roots, nuts, and berries. They constructed homes of wood and reed, usually with clay-plastered walls and thatched roofs. They were arranged in both compact villages and as outlying hamlets. They shared the fruits of their labors among the group and developed a high level of social and political organization, as would have been required to accomplish major feats such as mound building." Close quote. Under the section Social Significance of the Mounds, quote, "The villages of the Mississippians are marked by flat-topped earthen mounds that are scattered throughout the Mississippi Valley and the southeast. Sometimes a single large mound dominated the village or ceremonial center. More often, the mounds were arranged around a rectangular plaza. At Emerald Mound, however, the village ceremonial center was on top of the mound. There is evidence of a village site near the mound that was destroyed by cultivation. More than a dozen mound groups are located within 25 miles of Emerald Mound. The mounds of the Mississippians were used for burials, temples, and ceremonial structures. Archaeologists believe the mounds were the setting for elaborate civic processions, ceremonial dances, and intricate and solemn religious rituals. Though there are many mysteries that surround Emerald Mound, archaeologists are able to put together the pieces to learn about the early residents of the area. Once again, they explain these people are a simple people, hunter and gatherer people, using basic skills and tools, yet at the same time trying to tell us these people developed a high level of social and political organization, as would have been required to accomplish major feats such as mound building. How could that be? Thinking logically, how could these people be so simple yet so complex at the same time? What would cause a simple, basic people to go from thinking on their day-to-day survival to thinking more socially and politically with detailed designs and architecture using advanced mathematics that they haven't used before? Something happened between these two explanations, but what? In my opinion, this is where the Bible lines up with the fallen angels coming down to earth, desiring to mate with human women and offering to teach the forbidden knowledge to mankind in exchange for the women. That is one explanation, in my opinion. They are telling us in plain sight how the mounds have and are being used for different kinds of rituals. Burial rituals, ceremonial rituals, religious rituals, and that's just to name a few. There is a new sign located at Emerald Mound, which is kind of eerie, claiming that it is still a sacred site and is still in use today. All of this brings me to more questions. The timeline they have given us doesn't really line up with the two opposing explanations that they've given us. On the one hand, simple hunter-gatherers who only use their hands and sticks and basic tools for their day-to-day survival. And on the other hand, advanced social and political interactions with the understanding and execution of advanced mathematics to apply to architecture, to astrological have astrological alignment to the structures they build. And why are the best views of the mounds aerial? Why is that? Who or what could fly at this time according to their narrative? Angels are the only thing that come to mind, that and birds for me. So why are these elaborate mounds only fully appreciated from an aerial view that no human could see? Who is the prince of the power of the air? Let's look at the book of Enoch and the forbidden knowledge that was spoken thereof. And I quote, "Thou seest what he has done, who hath taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were preserved in heaven, which men were striving to learn, and to whom thou hast given authority to bear rule over his associates. And they have gone to the daughters of men upon the earth, and have slept with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins. And the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. And now, behold, the souls of those who have died are crying and making their suit to the gates of heaven, and their lamentations have ascended and cannot cease, because of the lawless deeds which were wrought on earth." And of the giants, they turned against mankind and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh, and drink the blood. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. They claim the Native Americans constructed the mounds. The oral traditions of most Native Americans say the mounds were already here. We know advanced mathematics were used to construct the mounds. Doesn't the Book of Enoch's description of the forbidden secrets taught to men provide a better explanation? On a future video that we will go into the description of the Natchez people of Grand Village. It will bring a better understanding to the occult practices described back then and that are still in use today, which begs the question of what is really being practiced at these sites, and who the Native Americans call the Star People, and how are they connected to the mounds.